cruising through these streets, got one thing on my mind. I've been thinking about you since we kissed that first time. Took it slow and we made it right. Bit of me and my perfect type. Put a ring on it now, baby, I might. Man, 3 years and she my whole life.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of the Buskers by the Lake podcast, where we're going to give you guys the inside scoop on some of the awesome performing artists featuring in this year's festival. My name is Lauren and I'm your host for this year. Today I have with me one of the most humble people I've ever met, Andre, aka Braza, aka Brazaman. Hey, how are ya?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, it's our pleasure.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get started. So if you don't mind, tell everyone a little bit about what you do.
All right. So my name is Brazaman. I'm a reggae singer, songwriter. I'm also a busker, a street musician. And I do loops mainly for the last few years. We just released an album last year. So when I'm not playing with the band, when I'm doing my solo thing, I play loops. So I record several instruments to build up songs.
Is that what you're going to be doing for Buskers by the Lake this year?
Yeah, exactly. That's
so
what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be bringing in the street vibe and what we do in the street for as our jobs, every day, playing music in the street for the people.
So cool.
We're going to bring that to the festival this year.
Oh, absolutely cannot wait to see that. We will be there at the festival ourselves. So it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So tell us about how you got started with it all. Like, how young were you and, what sort of influenced you to sort of get into it?
Musically, just like through my family, my old man and my brothers always playing music. And
it's in the blood.
Yeah, it's in the family, it's in the blood, always listening to good music. I'm from Brazil, so the musical culture there is very diverse, very rich.
Yeah.
We drink from samba, from reggae, from all styles,
it's so broad.
Yeah, all Latin styles, and then you go. But personally, music for me started, I don't know, I think I was around 11, 10. I started playing the bongos, My dad was always playing the guitar, singing with my mom.
You'd have jam sessions at home.
And we just start tapping the bongos, having the feel from it. And I was like, oh man, I can do this. Everybody's like, man, this is good. I just love the rhythm. So I started, a few years later, I was playing drums when I was about, 14, 13. I started playing drums. I hustled my mom for about a year, just like, please buy me a drum kit. She's like, you don't even know how to play drums.
Well, that's the point of getting a drum kit.
Yeah.
You want to learn, right? So
started from there.
Started young. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so how long have you been in Australia for?
Australia, the journey here been almost 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I was down in Melbourne for the last 6 years.
Yep.
Busking, doing my thing, covering festivals, doing, the music scene there is so rich, so vibrant,
It's definitely a different culture down there than to up, say Brisbane, for example, and then I feel that the Sunshine Coast might even be a little bit more like, or is trying to be a little bit more like Melbourne as far as
I just moved here, so I'm glad to bring some music with me, and I'm looking forward to see, and get in touch with the community.
Yeah.
I know it's different, completely different. Like you said, it's a different place, different vibration.
Yeah.
But music is universal,
It is. It's definitely one of those things you can take with you and hopefully leave your fairy dust everywhere you go.
That's right.
So, where you live, does it affect your work at all? So, I suppose when you were in Brazil and then obviously Melbourne and now here, have you had different influences from each of these places?
Always, so many influences from back home, or just like the reggae legends, man. That's what I most love, like the 70s and 60s, even early times, reggae. I used to listen to a lot of ska, and when we were young, when I played drums, I played in a punk band.
Oh, wow.
I played in a punk band for years.
Yeah.
And we are very young and we are already gigging every week, doing pubs and bars and moms and dads were just going, man, what these kids are doing in this place, So we started like that, we went from punk, and then one of our mates, he was like, man, you gotta listen to this, and all this skinhead reggae. I never heard of it. I was like, man, skinheads, they play reggae. What? And you know what I mean? People back in England, they were digging Jamaican music, All of the punks and the skinheads, they listened to black music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This was happening everywhere there, and reggae music is everywhere,
It
So
is.
for me, the big influence, is reggae. But all the places I've been, like in Australia, in Melbourne, I was exposed to so many styles, and so many diversity. African music,
Super diverse. Yeah.
dub, even electronic music. Like I personally, it's not. I don't dig much electronic music, but it's there, and you listen to it, and it affects you. Music's like that, you can't
well, you draw
stop.
influence from every little thing,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
So what is the favorite part about what you do? What's your thing that you wake up every morning and go, I love this?
Oh, I love to just playing music in the street it's a lot of fun, when it becomes like your job, your daily life, just playing music freely for the people. It's the great vibe,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So what are people's reactions usually when you tell them what you do?
Just like about music or about
Yeah, music. So
Yeah.
of reggae, or are they obviously surprised or not surprised? Like, how do people usually respond to that?
in a positive way, they want to
Good,
know.
yeah.
They are interested, they want to know. They want to know your runs, your ways on how you got there, like the questions you're asking me now, how you started on music, and you get to know a lot of people in this ways,
About your creative processes and stuff as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So, do you have any strange or interesting experiences or stories you can share with us?
Man, from the street, from busking, just a story that I really like to share is the one that it just humbles me down every time. It humbles me every time. It teaches me a lesson. This happened years ago, maybe a decade ago in Brazil, when I first decided to. I was doing some loops in the garage and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, I was broke, no money. I went to the street. I did this first session, right, on a subway station, in front of the subway station, back home. I was there playing, for a bit. It was going like, okay, busy street, noisy, and I had this dude, this elder, approaching me, and he was that classic street looking guy, like rough looking. That's what I mean by the classic, when there's someone from the street. All dirty clothes, all beaten up, man, and you just knew. And he was approaching me. My first reaction was like, this guy, he looked a bit drunk, a bit like just, tippy and side to side. And I was like, I don't know about this guy. And I was I was doing my thing, but I had my eyes on this guy.
Yeah.
He was there for like, I don't know, man, 20 minutes. He watched it for a long time.
Yeah.
To the point that I kind of didn't even bother anymore. And by the end of it, man, he was just searching all of his pockets.
Oh my gosh.
And he had his both hands like full of coins, man, and he just put it there. And I tried to stop him. I was like, bro, you don't have to give me any money, man. I don't want your money, And so, it was a lesson to me personally,
Gave
it was
you
my
what he
first
had.
day out in the street back home. And I'll never forget this,
No, that's the
like,
kind of thing you'd
don't
never
judge
forget.
nobody. You cannot judge no one.
No, definitely not. And that's such
You know what I
like you
mean?
say, sort of a humbling experience, isn't it? So you sort of make those judgments when you first see them and you never know what their story is. But the fact is, he gave you what he had.
Everything he
And,
got, man,
yeah.
he put it there. And I tried to, I said, man, bro, what are you doing? Like, man, thank you so much, but you okay? And
it's
he
for
was
you,
so
yeah.
happy to just, he was like, nah, man, you good. And he was like support, like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Because the support was coming from, down below, from,
Yeah.
from somewhere you don't expect.
Yeah,
you
of
know.
course.
And I was like, man, you never judge.
That's
never
something that will
judge
stick with you
nobody.
forever, won't
Forever,
it? Yeah,
man,
the story that
forever.
you sort of will go to every time.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, I know we've talked a little bit about influences from places you've been, but do you have any musical influences that you want to talk about? I know you've mentioned skinhead and punk and ska,
Yeah.
but do you have anything specific?
In the early days,
Yeah.
nah, not too specific, man. My early memories from music is listening like Peter Tosh, and Bunny, the Wailers, Bob and Alpha Blonde. Through my brother, he was getting into reggae. He was getting into that sort of thing. He was way older than me.
Yeah, the OG reggae.
First experiences, first memories. But I listen a bit of everything. I like hip hop a little bit. It's not really my thing, but I dig that. Man, Brazilian music, is so diverse, it's so rich, it's so diverse, and just world music,
You can't
man.
just sort of put
world
it into one
music.
thing. Hey, it's one of those like you have to, like I keep saying, you have to take it from everywhere, and that's what makes you, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what's the best piece of advice you've been given in your life,
Best piece of advice.
whether it be related to music or just life in general?
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe something my old man told me a while ago and kind of stuck with me. He said like, how can I can't translate that. He said, "You rather be happy than be right."
Yes.
Meaning in an argument with someone. Let's put it in this scenario.
Okay.
If you're trying to prove a point. You better be just happy. You better be happy with yourself, man. Then try to win this argument. Then try to be right.
That is very solid
You know what I mean?
advice.
It was
Yeah.
just this one sentence. I was like, man, this actually makes a lot of sense. So a lot of times we're just trying to prove our point, or you know what I mean. We just go far and far on arguments with people. And especially nowadays, man, the world is like so divided.
It is. Massive
Politics
divide.
and pandemics and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And people are very, polarized and divided.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just, man, you rather that's it. You rather be happy than don't try to win nobody.
Yeah.
Point of view, no argument, no prove your point.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really, really lovely advice. I think that that's so solid. That's probably something I'm going to carry, because I know that I can get a little bit argumentative because I've got so many opinions. But no, that's really, really solid. Thank you. On that note, what advice would you give to someone going into the industry? So something more reggae specific or just music specific in general?
Oh, I don't know. Always when I'm asked to give advice, I'm like, who am I? But I don't know. If you love what you do, whatever you're doing, if it's related to music or not, if you love what you're doing, keep doing it. Because one day it's gonna turn out good.
Just keep going.
Yeah, just keep
putting one
going.
foot in front of the other.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I can say.
That's wonderful advice. So professionally, what is your ultimate goal? Or are you already doing your goal?
Yeah, musically, I'm already, I mean, what can I ask for more? I have a beautiful family. I have 2 kids and a wife.
How old are your
One
kids?
just is born.
Oh,
Little Lucas, 2 months old.
oh, so little still.
little. So I have a beautiful family. And I'm doing what I love. I'm keeping it up, in the ways I can. You know what I mean? It's been a big change for me because we moved from Melbourne up here. We don't know nobody. We just, we are still getting to know the place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm excited about the festival. So the goals are just to, keep releasing music.
Yeah.
And keep playing, whenever I can, I'll be gigging. Yeah.
Are you loving being based around here on the Sunshine Coast?
It's been a crazy experience, we loving it.
You are?
But yeah, it's crazy. Like, man, our house got flooded.
Oh.
When we moved here, the weather, it's been relentless,
It
on
hasn't
us.
stopped. I heard a fact this morning, actually saying that basically in this year alone, we've had an average of 3 hours of sunshine a day, just if you were to spread it over a daily basis. And I just
Yeah.
think we've never seen rains like this before. And like, I love the rain, but my gosh, I'm so sick of it.
It's just pouring down, right?
It is, and it's hard,
Yeah.
especially maybe even as a street performer, you probably can't even really get out and,
Cannot
and
even
do
go
these
anywhere.
things. No. Are there many platforms for you around the Sunshine Coast that you can do it indoors?
Look, like I said, because we're just moving in, we just, and
Just settling
like a
in.
newborn, the family's readapting. I'm just, getting to know some people, some places. I recently played a gig in the Gold Coast.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking into, I was supporting a band, a rock band, Brazilian band, back in the Gold Coast. Was great. Great
Nice.
night, great fun. So I'm just looking into, the other festivals and what's happening and, bars, anywhere
Yeah.
there live music happens.
Yeah.
There's a possibility.
Have you spent much time at the Gold Coast yet?
No,
Besides
not
that?
really.
Not
Just when we got here, we stayed like a week there with some friends,
Yeah.
but just, touristing around really just quick. And we had to find a place up here and settle because of the baby. So we
Yeah.
moved up to the sunny coast. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, we're so happy to have you here on the sunny coast.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
What is your fantasy ultimately?
Fantasy. I don't know, man. Fantasy for me nowadays is to have, food in your plate, and just a
Yeah.
roof over your head. So my fantasy is that everyone could have that,
Yeah.
That's me, man. Like I know people can dream of so much, I can tell you so many things, maybe I won't or I desire, but man, these are just
So
selfish
humble.
things for me,
Yeah.
And I'm nothing, I'm nothing without my family, and that's what I wish, man. My fantasy is just like equal rights to everyone.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. That
that's
is
it.
so lovely to hear. So many people would answer that question with, I want to be a millionaire, I want to travel the globe in first class.
Fame,
and
fortune.
I want a supermodel wife, And so just to hear something like that is just so refreshing and speaks a lot about you as a person. And it's been such an amazing time chatting with you today. And I just feel so
Likewise.
enlightened and humbled. And I'm super excited to see what you've got in store, especially at Buskers. It's going to be such an awesome little gig. So we know that you're coming to perform at Buskers, but what else do you have in store for the next little bit?
So I just released a single. Actually was out 2
Check it
days
out,
ago.
guys.
Yeah, check it out. Cornerstone. It's well available, all digital platforms. I have a few more singles coming until we finally release the rest of the album.
Yeah.
So I got this release, and I'm producing so much at home as well. I'm doing
Keeping
new
busy.
stuff, and there is a lot, in the pocket, in the closet there to be
Between all of this
to
and
put
the
out.
2-month-old.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
busy.
the family, and yeah, the festival is coming up. I'm looking forward for that. Buskers by the Lake. Brazaman is gonna be there with live reggae music for the people. It's free music for the free people. That's what I like to say. I always say,
Yeah,
and
we
it's
love to
true.
hear it.
So yeah, and like I said, just small local gigs too. I'm applying for a lot of festivals. And
See what comes up.
yeah.
Definitely.
Brazaman.
So-
Reggae music's coming.
It's so exciting. So for people who want to find you on social media, do you want to tell us a little bit, maybe what's your Instagram tag?
Yeah.
Anything like that? How can we find
Sure.
you?
So brazaman.music on Instagram. You can find me there. You can also find my music page on Facebook. Brazaman.music on Facebook. YouTube channel, Brazaman, I'm there. There's some videos there. Brazaman.com is my website for bookings, and if you want to look a bit more into, you can go there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. It has been such a pleasure having you on the show. We're going to have to wrap it up now.
Thank you for
but
having me.
It has been just the most wonderful time. I said before, I feel so humbled and enlightened just from speaking to you. I can just see the warmth in you. So
Nice. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
thank you. All right. Well, I can't wait to see you at the show.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Thank you.